Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me for today's video. Today I will be sharing 20 knitting patterns for the spring and summer season with you. So grab a hot drink and let's get started with the video. Before I start off this video, I did want to do a little bit of an introduction because I never do one, so I'm gonna do one once and for all. So my name is Famke, I live in Amsterdam with my boyfriend. I'm 24 years old. I sell sewing and knitting patterns and I also work in a fabric store. And I think that's honestly all that there is to know about me. And speaking of knitting patterns, I have a really fun knitting pattern release today when this video is going up for my Vivian Vintage cardigan, which is an all-over textured cardigan with a super cute puff sleeve. So if you are looking for a way to support me or if you just want to knit something super adorable for the spring-summer season, I would highly recommend this pattern, although I may be biased. But I will show you a little bit up close. It is currently missing a sleeve, but I will get to that. And then some double knit button bands, and this is a mock eyelet cable, some twisted stitches. It's just a super cute cardigan and I'm looking forward to wearing this one in this cream color because it will go with absolutely everything. And I knit this with a DK weight and a lace weight together, which creates a really nice lightweight fabric for the spring and summer. So just a little tip for you from me. But now let's get into all of the 20 knitting patterns that I've picked out specifically for this video. For this video I'm going from cardigans to sweaters and then tops, dresses, skirts and some bags. So I'm going to get started with a really cute cardigan, also with a puffy sleeve actually. And it's called the Bellsa Cardigan by Emilie, I think is her name. It's knit on 4mm needles with a fingering weight and a lace weight held together. Then it comes in 9 different sizes that range from a finished bust circumference of 91 centimeters to 156 centimeters. And it's just a really nice cardigan, also with some double knit button bands. I really like the big buttons that are on here with the same knitted fabric on top. It really reminds me of Another Stories. It looks very store-bought, this cardigan. And it's just super cute in, for example, a pastel color for the spring and summer season. I really like this one. And the next pattern is actually on my own wish list for knitting patterns. And it's the Hilton Cardigan by Sandnes Garn. This is a super cute striped cardigan with double knitted button bands and a really nice flared sleeve. I've seen someone share this in a knitting podcast and the construction is also very interesting. I don't own this pattern, so there's no way for me to really look at it. Then this pattern is knit with a DK weight yarn held together with a lace weight yarn on 5mm needles. And then it comes in a size extra small to a 5XL. So that's really nice. Do keep in mind that Sandnes Garn no longer sells their patterns as booklets, but instead they are currently selling their patterns separately, which is a little bit of a downside I think, because they are just a little bit more difficult to find in my opinion. But I think this would be so cute with just a really fun spring and summer color combination and definitely something that you can also wear in the fall and winter. Next up we have the Daydreamer cardigan by Kutovakika. Of course there had to be a Kutovakika pattern somewhere in this list because she's probably one of my favorite knitwear designers. This one is knit with a worsted weight yarn on 5mm needles and it comes in a size extra small to a 5XL for a finished bust circumference of 100 centimeters to 171 centimeters. This one again has some double knitted button bands. And I believe this is a half fisherman's rib, yeah. And that's just really cute. I really like that this one is knit with some fluffy yarn. I believe this is Drops Melody, which is really nice and also quite affordable. But you could also use an air-spun yarn, for example, Viking Garn Alpakka Briss or Drops Air. Those types of yarns would work really well for this pattern. I think another one would be Sandnes Garn Kots. It's just a adorable pattern. She also knit her sample in a really nice spring color, this beautiful lilac, and it's one of my favorite colors actually. This is also one that is on my wish list. I just have to finish some other things as usual, but it's adorable. Then we have something completely different, which is the Harriet Cardigan by Avec along Anna. And for those that don't know this brand or designer, it's actually a yarn company, so they also use their own yarn for this pattern. This is knit with a fingering weight held together with a lace weight to create a DK weight, and they knit it on 4.5mm needles. Then the size range is from 85.5 cm to a 125.5 cm chest, with a recommended ease of 5 to 10 centimeters. I really love the stitch that they chose to do on the sleeves. I believe this is called a hard ridge stitch. I've done it once or twice before and I really love knitting it, and it just creates a really nice texture, and it's also nice that then the body is still in stockinette. I think that's a nice contrast, you know, having two different patterns in there. And I believe they also have a sweater version of this design, so if a cardigan is not for you, then I would recommend checking that one out. I basically chose a lot of cardigans for this video because I think they're really nice transitional pieces, because you can wear them open on top of something or take them off very easily, but you can also close them up and wear them as a sweater. They are just the most versatile thing ever and definitely one of my favorite things to knit. Hence, I have like 5 cardigans on the needles currently. So I'm a big cardigan lover and I hope you are too. The next one is one more cardigan. It's Flur de May, I think it's called, by Tricot Design MCL. This is knit with a DK weight yarn on 4.5mm needles, and it comes in sizes extra small to a 5XL, with a finished bust circumference of 89 cm to 168 cm. So it's also size inclusive, which a lot of these patterns actually are, which really props to the designer for doing that. And I specifically love the short sleeve version of this cardigan. I think that's such a cute and summery piece. You can wear it over like a strappy dress. That would be a really cute outfit. Then the stitch pattern that is in here is also quite simple, so I think it's more beginner friendly. You can of course also knit it with the long sleeves if you want it to be a little bit more versatile. Then you can also wear this, for example, in the fall and the winter. I think all around this is just a really nice cardigan that can be really basic but also very statement. And this is also a really nice pattern designer. I've knit patterns from her before and they are really great. Then the final cardigan pattern that I've chosen for this video is called the Fig Cardigan by Hannah Knit. This one is knit with a fingering weight yarn held together with a lace weight yarn to create a DK weight on 4mm needles. Then it only comes in 5 sizes, ranging from an extra small to an XL. So that is for a finished bust circumference of 100 cm to 136 cm. So that's unfortunately not size inclusive, but it's quite a simple cardigan, so I think you could do a little bit of math to figure out how to make it fit you. It's, I think, like a slip stitch pattern, but it's really adorable. This is one of those patterns that is really basic, but with a little bit of a twist. And they also make it with some hand-dyed yarn, and I think this one really shines in the hand-dyed yarn. It makes it even more special than it already is. And just with like tiny little buttons, that also makes it very feminine looking. So I think this is a really cute cardigan, for example, with a floral midi skirt. And now we are going into the sweater section of this video. The first one is called the Telopea by Marzena. This one is knit with 2 lace weights held together to create a fingering weight yarn on 3.75mm needles. This pattern comes in 9 sizes with a finished chest circumference of 96 cm to 160 cm. I really love the baubles that are on here, the little ruffly edge, and also the cuff like stitch pattern that she has is really cute. I specifically chose this sweater because it's a lace weight pattern, and I think the airiness is really nice for the spring and summer season. I wouldn't wear like a worsted weight sweater in the summer, I think. But this is very cute, very feminine, and I also really like that it's cropped. This one would also be really cute to wear on top of a dress or with some high-waisted jeans or shorts. Then the next sweater pattern is the Lucille sweater. This is a pattern by Stitching Simply, and I believe it's in collaboration with Hobby Design. Then the yarn weight that she uses is a sport weight yarn on 4mm needles. And this one comes in a lot of sizes, actually from an extra small to a 7XL, which is really interesting. I don't think I've ever seen that before. I think if I understand correctly from the measurements that they have on the Hobby website, which is very strangely put, I think it's an 86 centimeter chest to a 188 centimeter. I think those are the sizes, but I'm not entirely sure. But it's a really cute pattern with an all over stitch pattern. I think instead of a sport weight yarn, I think I would do some lace weight yarn, for example. A hand-dyed Suri yarn would be really cute in this sweater. I just love the all over stitch pattern that is in there. The edge seems to be a pointelle knit edge, but I'm not entirely sure. It looks a little bit messy, honestly. But I think you could easily fix that up to have a nice pointelle edge, which would look really cute in this pattern. Next up, I have a bunch of slipovers and vest picked out for this video. I think these are also really nice transitional pieces. Something that you can wear over like blouses, t-shirts, dresses, or on top of a skirt as like a t-shirt. Just so versatile, and you can also wear them in the fall and winter. They are just super cute, and I actually don't own any of them, which is very strange. And I should definitely make a change. The first one is the Spicy Slipover by Lucille. This one is knit in a TK weight yarn on 3.5mm needles. This one comes in sizes extra small to a 5XL, which corresponds to the following chest measurements of 78 to 142 centimeters. I really like that this one has a closed V-neck and it also has really nice shaping details around the armpit. This one is really nice and basic. You can go any route with this specific pattern because it's so basic. It also makes it very versatile and up for like your own design ideas. You could even add, I don't know, like some color work or a stitch pattern to this design or knit it in a really fun yarn. There are so many options for this, and plain, of course, it would also look really cute. I'm kind of tempted by this pattern, to be honest, but there are so many other nice patterns out there as well. And to be honest, stockinette is not my favorite thing to knit. This pattern also has a little slit in the ribbing, which is really nice when it's a crop length. Next up we have the Miss Suare waistcoat by Gregoria Fibers. This one is knit with a lace weight held together with a TK weight yarn on 4mm needles, and it comes in 8 sizes, which ranges from a finished chest circumference of 73.5 to 119 centimeters. I really love that this one has a blanket stitch pattern on the edges. It's really nice and different, and it's actually quite trendy. At least it was last year. I'm not sure if it's still trendy right now, but it's really cute and you could play around with some leftover yarns for this. Then she uses some kind of closure thing, you will see in the picture. That is really nice. You could also do maybe an I-cord. This pattern is also kind of basic, but then with a twist. You can really let your fantasy run wild with this one. And I think it will also be very cute to wear, just as she has worn it with a t-shirt, but again also over a dress or a skirt. The next one is one that I really love personally. It's the Laura Vest by Arlene Lynn. This is knit with a worsted weight yarn on 4.5mm needles, and it comes in 7 sizes that range from a 104cm to a 140cm bust. And I really love all of the different stitch patterns that are in here. Of course, I've just mentioned that I don't really love stockinette, so this is perfect for me. This one has lace, a picot bind off, then some kind of moss or pearl knit type of texture. Just super cute, and this will really make any outfit stand out a little bit because it has the texture going on. And this will also look really cute with just a normal yarn. Some patterns really shine in hand-dyed yarn, but it's also really nice to have patterns that are really good for just basic yarn. You can just use some like affordable yarn, even acrylic if that's your thing, and it will still look really cute because it just has a really beautiful stitch pattern in there. The next pattern, the same actually applies to because it has a lot of things going on, so I think it's better off with a plain yarn. It's called the Patchwork Cable Vest by Loose Loop Patterns. And this is knit with a TK weight yarn on 4mm needles, and it only comes in 1 size, which actually, that's a little bit of a downside, but maybe it will fit a lot of people, I'm not entirely sure. This one is with a combination of garter stitch that kind of twist around in a cable pattern, but then there's also like patchwork things going on. Like you will see in the picture, it's such an interesting pattern. I came across this a while ago and I just had to save it for like one of my videos in the future because I think it's one of the most unique patterns that I've ever seen. I don't think it's necessarily my style, I don't think I would wear this, but I do think it's so cool. It's such a design that stands on its own. Like there's nothing else like this. You're also not gonna find something like this in store, I think, and you can create a really unique and one-of-a-kind piece with this pattern. Next we are going into the dresses section of this video. The first one is the Fun Fan Summer Dress by Pickles. This is knit with a sport weight yarn on 5mm needles. This pattern only comes in 3 sizes because they are clustered sizes. So the first size is extra small small, and then the largest size is extra large 2XL. And this one has a really beautiful fan lace stitch pattern. I really love the overall shape that it creates. It's a very A-line or like a clock style dress. And it also has some really nice flared sleeve. When I first saw this, I was like, oh, I want to knit that. But the only thing that I don't love about this pattern is the neckline. From what I've seen is that this pattern is knit bottom up. And that creates kind of a lot of weight that is weighing down the sweater, especially if you don't choose the right yarn. So for some people that I've seen on Ravelry, it really made the neckline stretch out a lot, which I don't really love the look of. So that's something to keep in mind, but it is very beautiful. and definitely something that I would love to knit. I also really like how they styled it with the jeans underneath. You could wear it as like a tunic. That would be really cute. This is definitely something that I think is also really unique and one of a kind. Something that I've never really seen before, and I think that's really important. I really love to be inspired and to be amazed by a pattern, even though it's not really my own style. That's also why I love sharing them with you in case you would like them. The next dress pattern is the Cilia Dress by Kutovakika. This is knit with a worsted weight yarn on 5.5mm needles, and then it comes in a size extra small to a XL. This is such a unique and beautiful pattern. I've never seen anything like this before. I really love the tiered ruffles that are in here, but then they also have some lace going on. Then there are the little bows on the shoulder, so it is adjustable. This is just a gorgeous pattern, and the first thing that I thought when I saw this is that this is like beautiful enough to be like somebody's wedding dress or like a elopement dress, I believe is how it's called. It's just really beautiful and something that you can wear for a special occasion. I definitely don't think it will be very easy or quick to knit, like a really special item that you can really cherish in your wardrobe. And they also styled here with jeans on top and with the lace weight yarn that is a little bit see-through. It also creates a very contemporary look if that's your thing. The next pattern is really minimalistic and elegant. It's the All Good Dress by Knitonomy. This is with a fingering weight yarn on 3mm needles, and it comes in sizes extra small to a 2XL. Which is a finished bust circumference of 110 centimeters to a 150 centimeter. This one is gonna be quite a task to knit with a fingering weight yarn on 3mm needles, and it's also midi length, but it's so beautiful and timeless. Like, I cannot imagine a time where you could not wear this. You can wear this anywhere at any time. Maybe even transition it through the winter with a sweater and some tights underneath. I really like the shaping details that it has. Also the folded hem looks really clean with this. It's not my personal style. I don't think this would look nice on me. But if this is your thing, then I would definitely go for it. It's a really nice pattern. Then the final dress is a really nice layering piece in my opinion. It's called the Euphoria Dress by Pop Knit. This is with a 4mm needle, and it comes in sizes extra small to a 3XL. This one has a really interesting stitch pattern. I'm not sure what it is, but it creates a really nice eyelet and like slip stitch pattern. I really like that it has the drop shoulder and then some really nice and clean double knitted edges, a nice deep v-neck. So exactly as she has styled it in her photos with a turtleneck underneath and some flared pants. That's a really cute way to style this. This pattern actually also comes in a sweater version with a v-neck if that's more your thing. I think that would also be really cute styled for the spring and summer. But this one I really like that it's a layering piece once again. So it's something that you can also wear in other seasons, and that's just really important because if you're gonna knit something, especially a dress, and it's gonna take you a long time, you better get a lot of wear out of it. The next pattern is actually one that I would love to knit for this summer season. This is knit with a fingering weight yarn on 3mm needles, and it's called the Nova Skirt by Sandnes Garn. It comes in sizes extra small to a 5XL. They knit it in the tint Peer Gynt, which I don't think I would do because I find that yarn quite scratchy. But I think, for example, Cotton Merino from Knitting for Olive would be a really nice yarn for this, especially if it's gonna be a spring-summer piece. Then the cotton is gonna be really nice and breathable, but then the wool is still gonna make it last longer, and I know cotton yarns can stretch out over time, which I think is quite of a waste of knitting time. Having a cotton and a merino blend is really nice and will suit this skirt really well. And it's an all over twisted rib pattern. I would definitely go for the mini length because I just love how their sample looks in the pink with the matching sweater actually. I definitely wouldn't mind having that whole pink ensemble in my closet, and I think I would get a lot of wear out of it. Again, it's also something that you can wear in the fall and winter and the spring and the summer, especially if you choose the right yarn. It's something that you can wear always, and that's really nice because it's 3mm needles, so again, you better get a lot of wear out of it. The next skirt is the Rita Skirt Solo by Le Knit. This is also with a fingering weight yarn on 3mm needles, and it comes in sizes extra small to a 2XL for a hip circumference of 70 centimeters to 106 centimeters. I really like the pleated effect of this skirt. I think it's really unique and one of a kind, and something that's also very versatile and classic and timeless. So it will really be worth knitting it. There aren't a lot of projects on it, sadly, on Ravelry, so there's not a lot of like inspiration to be found, but it's very adorable. I I don't really know how I specifically would style this pattern. I'm not sure if it's 100% my style, but I do think it's very cute. Then we only have 2 more patterns for this video, which are both bags. The first one is the Cocoa bag, also by Pop Knit. This is knit with a 7mm needle and a worsted weight yarn, and then it comes in 2 sizes, so a smaller version and a bigger version. And it's knit with some type of slip stitch technique. I'm not sure, but it looks really unique, especially with the 2 color combination. You could go with something that has very low contrast, or for example something with a high contrast as she has done. If you're unfamiliar with Pop Knit, her patterns in general, they're kind of crazy and out there. She loves using hand-dyed yarn and bright colors and really fun actually. But I think this would also be super cute with, for example, a beige and a white, and then it would be really timeless and classic. I think this is definitely something that I would want to knit, and something like this I think is more suited for the spring and summer season, just because I do live in the Netherlands, so you know, with rain and the cold, a bag or knitted bag is not the most practical in my opinion. And then the final pattern that I've chosen for this video is another pattern that I think is really unique. It's called the Mr. Color bag by Sarah Ottoson, I think is her name. This is knit with 2 bulky weight yarn held together on a 8mm needle. And then it only comes in 1 size. It's a really nice and boxy square shaped bag with a front lapel. It's kind of the same shape as, for example, the Chanel jumbo bags, or you know, the bags that Chanel is the most popular for. She made it with 2 really fun yarns together, so the pink and orange, which creates a really fun bag. But then I think if you were to make this again with some neutral colors, this would be such a cute bag. And then someone else on Ravelry actually in the projects has made this with a metal chain, which really elevates this. It makes the bag really go from fun and quirky to elegant and timeless. So I think this is definitely something that I would want to make. I do think it's a little bit wintry. It's something, again, that you can always wear, and it's still a knitted bag, so it is probably better for the spring and summer season, even though the plaid pattern is, yeah, a little bit maybe like a typical fall. And you can also do it with a knitted strap. I'm seeing here someone did that, but I think the chain strap specifically is a really nice option, and I think this is definitely going on my wish list. I'm definitely adding it to my favorites right now. I hope you are also adding some favorites of this video to your to knit list. Yeah, took some inspiration from it. Definitely let me know which pattern was your favorite or which one is going in your knitting queue. I would really love to know. Thank you so much for watching as always, and for now I wish you all a very happy day and happy knitting, and bye bye!